Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Slay a Tray Thursday. This week, we're doing whatever we want, and that's usually dangerous, but I'm going to try to keep it on topic, not go off on a tirade, and still do something fun. So this week, let's do something whimsical. I suck at whimsical. Like, I love when other people do it, but I'm not great at it. I like things to be very precise and very regimented, but we're going to step outside of our comfort zone and we're going to try to make a tray. This is just a basic wooden tray from Michael's. You can get them at Hobby Lobby. You can get them probably at Dollar Tree. And so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a quick sand just to get off any of those rough edges. We're going to paint it, and then we're going to make it into like a little library. We're going to create some books, and then we're going to come back and we're going to write positive words on there because let's be real, there is not enough positivity in the world these days. So I'm going to start off by just doing some very basic paint. I'm just going to paint it white and then come back in and then draw our books on. Well, we're going to paint our books on. Yeah. And by the way, so if you have a lot of paint sitting around and it's in a bucket and you never use it and you go to use it, I found out that it gets very clumpy. So before you start a project, you might just want to make sure your paint's not clumpy because, it was quite a rude awakening when I went to paint this and chunks of paint they just don't work the same as liquid. And I have to apologize in advance. There are going to be some choppy parts this video where there are large pieces that aren't there. That is because apparently I forgot that my giant head can't be in frame when I'm painting. I don't know what I was doing, but somehow my giant head made its debut in almost every single piece of this video. I don't know. So if I jump around from, piece to piece, that is why. I'm sorry. I'm doing you a favor by cutting my big old head out. So here's where we started painting on our books. I put some just a bunch of different colors, bright, fun colors that I thought would go together on a plate. And then I'm just going to start painting in some books. I'm using the tape as just kind of a guideline to help me get an approximation of the size I want. It's not supposed to be perfect. I kind of really, really want it to be perfect, but it's not supposed to be perfect. It's supposed to be whimsy, which is what we're going for. And I actually got this idea from one of my very favorite creators, made by Mal. She used to make tumblers. She's amazing, so creative, love her so much. She went off, got married, and is having a baby now. So she's retired on her resin, which I thought was very selfish of her. Anyway, but she's still doing crafty stuff. She's just not doing resin anymore. But she did something very similar to this on her channel, and I kind of went with her idea, and I really liked it. I wish I would have done a few things differently, which I'll talk about later. But yeah, this is completely inspired by her. She's super positive and just always looking for the good in things. And so I want to channel some of that happy energy. So here's what we're looking like after we paint all of our books. And so now the idea is to kind of come in with markers that are similar to the book color, not exact because then you wouldn't be able to see it, but similar, and to kind of make the books look more like books, kind of embellish the spines, add some, lines at the top, at the bottom, different shapes on them, just make it look more booky. And yes, booky is 100% in the dictionary. And then once all the spines are finished, we'll come back in. We will handwrite, cringe, our words of positivity on our spines. And I think it'll be perfect. So here's kind of what it looks like. Let's just start with a couple of things. One, I made a list. I know, be proud of me. I made a list of all the words I wanted to use. Did I accidentally use the same word twice and have to repaint it and start over? Yes, I also did do that because here's the thing: cross it off after you use the word. That would be a really really good plan. But I didn't do that, so yeah, I had to. That happened, but that's okay. Um, I'm handwriting these now. That is just because that is keeping in the theme. If I was doing this again, like every part of my being wanted me to use a stencil or use a ruler, use something to make it very precise, and then to use my Cricut and to cut out the words on my Cricut. I like things to be very precise. I don't like them to just be willy-nilly. And so this was very hard for me to let go and just be like, okay, just do it. It's fine. It's no big deal. I think the end result is cute, but I really do want to redo it and do it in a fashion that appeals more to my very type A personality. I feel like I straddle this line of I want to do it a certain way, but every part of me wants it to be a different way. Does that make sense? Like my brain goes, hey, or no, let me rephrase that. My heart goes, let's make it whimsical. Let's just make it fun. Let's just go with the flow. But then my brain steps in and my brain's like, yeah, no, 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 no. That is not okay. We're not doing that. We are going to make it very specific and very a certain way. And so stepping outside of that is very difficult for me. So I'm very proud of myself that I did that. So here's what we're looking like. All the words are on there. All the spines are finished. And now here's where I think I made a misstep. Surprise, surprise. So I want to take and I want to put glitter around the edges. I want to do like some UV resin and put some glitter in it and then do the top and the bottom green and then the sides pink. Everything was good until I went to cure my UV resin. But when I went to cure it, it was bubbling and it was not curing properly. It ended up being like super bumpy, like all of these bubbles came to the surface. And I don't know if that's because my paint was still a little bit wet, which I don't think it was, but maybe, or if it was just that this wood is so porous that maybe, I don't know. I don't know what it was. Maybe someone smarter than me can tell me. But as I'm like touching this, I'm like, this is not curing. And then I can literally just like push the bubbles off the surface. It was very odd. So what I did is I did put that layer down. I went back in, I sanded it and did another layer and then it was fine. So it has to be something with the fact that there was moisture there, or I don't know. I should have probably sealed it. I think had I sealed it with either some Mod Podge or, a spray sealer, I think that would have gone much better. But hindsight 2020, I now know for the future. So I did all the outer edges in the green and then I came back in and I did seal. So I'm going to do that like front frame around the bookshelf or the book tray. Yeah, book tray in pink. And so I did seal that. I just put down a layer of Mod Podge, let it dry overnight. And then when I came in to put down the pink UV resin, it was perfect. No bubbling, no drama. It cured just fine. So whatever the issue was, it was not repeated once it was sealed. So we're going to just go with that for the future. And that pink is so good. Oh my gosh. Of course, I'm obsessed with glitter, but okay. I have to go off on a tangent. I know I said I wasn't going to, but I have to. So I was I've been cleaning out my space and going through stuff and organizing and all of that. So I found an entire Costco crate full of craft supplies. Most of it, there were 2 giant boxes in there full of glitter. I have so much glitter now. Well, I had so much glitter before, but there's so much glitter now that it won't all fit on shelves. I have an entire bookcase that is full of glitter, and now I have 2 boxes. Well, actually 1, because I combined it down to 1. I have 1 box full of glitter that will not fit on a shelf. I seriously think that I need to do some destashing. Somebody has a problem. So I think there's going to be a lot more glitter in Slay a Tray because somebody needs to like hold an intervention or something. Okay, so I'm going to go all the way around this and then I'm going to cure it and then I'm going to come back and we're going to move on to the next step. I mixed up 4-ish ounces of resin, I think. It's the one that I don't like. It takes forever to cure. I don't like it. I can't remember the name of it. If I can find a picture, I'll insert it here. The resin's fine. It just takes a really long time to cure. Minimum of 24 hours. And even then, like if you accidentally get alcohol or something on it, it will mar the surface and you will have to redo it. It's kind of crazy how long it takes to cure. Anyway, that's the resin I used because I'm trying to use it up. I very foolishly bought 4 gallons of it. Yeah, it was on special. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was on special for a reason because it's terrible, but it's fine. It's fine. Before I did the resin, I did seal everything with a layer of Mod Podge. Because I was worried that if I put the resin directly on to the paint, that's a nice view right there. I told you that my giant head was in this entire video. And yeah, that was just a little taste just for you because I care so much. But if we're focusing on the positive, I had PPE on. So you know what? Let's just focus on that. So I did hit this with my heat gun just to burst any bubbles. I could have used a torch. However, the torch that I have, it must have, I don't know, resin in it or something because it gets jammed. Like the flame comes on and it stays on and it won't go off. Like you have to like manually pry the little lever out. So yeah, I need to get a new torch and I hardly ever use one. So yeah, so we're going with the heat gun because I was really trying very hard to not burn the house down. That's kind of my general overall vibe. Don't burn the house down. And I'm just covering this with some parchment paper just to make sure that nothing falls in there. I have like a little tent thing, but it's not big enough to cover it. So I figured parchment paper would do the trick. So let's let this cure for 8,000 hours, come back and we'll see what it looks like. And here we are. We are all finished. It's whimsical. There are a lot of things that I would have done differently. I definitely would have gone more precise. I would have probably been less on the whimsical side, but I think overall it did turn out pretty cute and I'm pretty happy with it. So you guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out with me through all of my ridiculousness. And please go check out the other creators in the description box below. There are some amazing creators who have some of just the most incredible trays. So talented. I learned so many things from them all the time. So please check them out. And I hope that you guys will come back in 2 weeks where we are doing favorite book or favorite movie. And I was torn. So come back, join me in 2 weeks, and let's learn a little bit more about each other. Thank you guys for being here, and I hope to see you next time.